Hey everybody, welcome back to the Martel and Friends podcast. My name is Antoine Martel. I'm a real estate investor and entrepreneur. I'm also the co-owner of FlipSystem. I flipped over 650 houses and made over $10 million flipping homes. And I started a company called FlipSystem to help other investors do the same thing. On this podcast, we talk about everything from starting to scaling a business. We chat with other entrepreneurs and investors, trade insights and advice. And today we're talking with Connor, who has done 5 deals in the last 12 months. So Connor, thanks for coming on the podcast today. Tell everybody a little bit about your real estate investing. So in the last 12 months, you've done 5 deals?
Yeah, so it was a very interesting journey, but obviously through FlipSystem, it's allowed me to successfully invest in real estate where prior to I've never done any type of real estate deal. I had 0 experience. And so in the last 12 months, I have done 5 full deals from finding the property, fixing it up, and then putting a tenant in it and selling. 2 of my deals I have already fully flipped. 2 more I have renters in place, and I'm just collecting cash flow. And then I have another one right now that just hit the market that we're trying to decide if we want to flip it or if we want to put a tenant in place. So it's been an awesome journey.
Awesome. Amazing. And so you never tried to invest in real estate before?
No, not at all. I mean, the only extent I've kind of looked into real estate before FlipSystem was I've always wanted to do it, watch the HGTV stuff. My godparents have been in real estate my whole life. They fix and flip luxury houses, but it's over a long period of time. And so myself, I kind of wanted to try back in 2019, and I actually went to Martel Turnkey and I looked and I had a conversation with you, and I just didn't have the funds to do it.
Yeah.
So it was too expensive for me to get in, so I just felt like I really couldn't do anything at that point. So I was just kind of stuck and continued just doing the things that I was doing with my business and all that until another opportunity would, I guess, present itself. And I just didn't really know anything about creative financing, how to find deals or anything like that. So I never really started in real estate because I didn't think I could.
Interesting. So in college, because you also, so let's go back then to you in the very beginning, because college, I think you were very big on basketball, played basketball in college. Then after that, I know that you also started right out of college, did you start a basketball coaching business? Is that what you did right out of college, or did you actually go and work somewhere after college? Because I know you also had some entrepreneurial tendencies, which I think people that when they join FlipSystem or just starting a real estate business in general, if you have some entrepreneurial tendencies, I think it really helps you when you get into the real estate business, because it is a business. It's not like what they show on HGTV or just putting your money into the stock market. So after college, did you start a business right away? Did you go and work? Because you said I didn't have much money to get started, which is true. You need money to invest in real estate, or you're going to spend a shitload of your time trying to figure it out. So after you graduated, did you go start that business? Did you work a job? What did you do to make some money to start investing?
Yeah. So for me, right after I graduated, I actually went and got my MBA. So I left LA, I went to Georgia, I got my master's, and through that experience, as I was getting my MBA, I actually joined a social media marketing course from Tai Lopez, and I started my own business. So I was a guru social media marketer all of a sudden, trying to sell people my services, and that was quite interesting.
Is that called SMMA?
Yeah, social
media marketing. Okay, because that's still hot today, even though Tai Lopez is doing other stuff. But so, what is social media market? Because I see people run ads all day about SMMA and all
essentially what he did in his program was teach you everything you need to know, from building out a website to the back end on the white pages to SEO to then how you can do Instagram automation and optimization to then also marketing strategies. And your whole idea was to pick a niche and then go find customers. And at the time, this was 2016, 2017, where Instagram wasn't as hot as it is today. Social media wasn't as prevalent as it is now. And there's a lot of boomers or, business owners that would no social media presence. And so I was going around and trying to talk to people in health and wellness spaces, honestly, real estate spaces, so on and so forth, and be like, oh, I have it all figured out, and I'm going to, help do your business, and I'm going to grow your website and get more clicks and funnels from your trafficking through Google clicks and all this stuff. So I was looking at that, and that's what I basically started. And so the course kind of teaches you how to do it, but not the actual implementation, because that's where I struggled. I thought I had to do everything. So I didn't know how to delegate and put the right people in place, and my business completely flopped. So I went and I promised to the moon to all these people, and I was like, let's do it.
Oh, shit.
And I got 10 clients. They're all paying me $2,000 a month. I was like, oh shit, this is crazy. And then literally I'm refunding everyone 2 months later. So I was like, oh, this didn't really work well. So that was that process. And then I moved back to LA once I graduated, and I got a job. And I never really wanted a job. Always felt like I've had that, entrepreneur type, gene in me. But once I got the job, I lasted 3 months. Like, I couldn't do this. I couldn't work for corporate. It wasn't for me. Also, the role itself, I didn't really enjoy. And so I quit on a whim, and I had nothing lined up, barely had any money to my name. And I was just like, you know what? Basketball's my passion. I go to see an old chiropractor I hadn't seen in years. And he was like, oh, like, I have my son. He's interested in basketball. Like, would you train him? And literally on the spot, I'm making up money. I was like, yeah, I'll walk him through a session for an hour. He's like, how much would it cost? I was like, $40. And he was like, okay. And now I'm like, shit, I'm making $40 an hour. Like, this is crazy. That was my first client. And so literally, like, that happened just a week before I quit. Got that. And then I connected to another organization out here, started doing the basketball business and started getting clients. And pretty quickly, it did really well for me. So I grew from like 0 to like 70 clients in like 4 months. I was really fortunate to connect with the right people, started training NBA guys, and that's what kind of like led me down that path. And so that was my main business for the last 7 years. And what I did was basketball and building that business out.
Got it. Crazy. And then and you're still running that basketball business today, right?
Yeah, still doing that.
Got it.
I wouldn't say like full time. I mean, just the way I've set it up, it's like I still have a lot of autonomy, and most of my clients are, middle school, high school, college guys. So it's really busy during summer, but really during the school year, I only work 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. So I was like, okay, I want to get into other things. Yeah. And as I started doing that business and it grew, I saved up money, and that's when I started wanting to look into real estate and other options.
Got it. And then that basketball business then gave you the enough capital to be able to actually look at investing out of state.
Yeah, it definitely helped me with that. I mean, there is a side caveat that's really like, I think the catalyst that made me take this leap was, I think I might have told you before, but I started investing, or I was in insurance as well. And so I was running the Geico out in Santa Monica from 2021 to 2022 of July. And that's what I thought was my path to millions. And from there, then I wanted to get into real estate and other stuff. And I was just looking for passive streams of income. Long story short there, basically Geico screwed us over and basically fired every agent on a whim. And we don't own our book of business. And so I finally built a book from 0 to 14 million in 14 months. And I was like, this is going to work. This is it. And then just boom, had to file for bankruptcy. I was in a 10-year lease that I was locked into. And that's what really was the catalyst. I was
you had to file for bankruptcy?
My business did, yeah.
What the
They
fuck?
screwed so many of us, man. And I'm not here to talk all about that, but basically that is really what was the catalyst. I was like, I'm going to figure this out. Whatever I do, I'm going to find a way. So I still have my basketball business, I have my insurance business. That's now no longer. I was like, I've always wanted to do real estate. I still have some money. Let me try this now. And that's when I actually approached you in FlipSystem, and I was like, you tell me what to do, I'll do it. As long as you give me a step-by-step plan, I'll run through a brick wall to make this happen. Because I just knew I believed in myself, and I was super motivated that, I just didn't have the guidance or like the know-how how to do this. And I always thought like you needed $250,000, $200,000 to invest because I live in LA. I didn't know there's a better way.
Oh my God. Crazy. I mean, I can go so many different directions. I can go back to SMMA, Geico now. Holy shit. Because I'm assuming when you work with one of these insurance companies, did you have to get your insurance license to then start your own insurance business, which then is like licensed by Geico?
Exactly. That's exactly it. I had to go through the whole process, get all 4 licenses, and then had to go get an LLC and then apply as well to be
Got it. And is every single insurance agent that works at like a Geico and State Farm, they're all like their own little business?
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Got it. And why couldn't you just go to like State Farm and because you didn't own your book of business? What a fucking deal for them.
Yeah. So they basically knew exactly what they're doing, and that's part of like the risk we're taking, because we're taking like a 1099 contractor, where we like own the business. They can kind of influence what they want us to do, but we don't actually own the book. And so then they screwed all of us, man. I know people that were lost like millions.
Oh my God. All right, crazy.
Yeah.
Also, too, for everybody listening, Connor and I did go to college together at LMU. You studied entrepreneurship as well, right?
Yes, I did. I was in the entrepreneurship program.
Got it. Do you think that going to LMU and going to college had any benefit to you?
Only one benefit. I met Antoine Martel. That was it. No, I mean, honestly, like, I don't think nowadays you necessarily need it. I'm not pro college or against it. I think it's a good experience, but I definitely feel like if you're trying to get in business or trying to do anything, you don't necessarily need college. There's so many resources and stuff out there that all you need to do is just have the ability to do, and you'll trial and error, and you'll kind of figure it out, right? If you don't want to do that, then obviously you find a mentor and work with someone that can show you the path. And yeah, honestly, the only benefit of college was just like I was able to play college basketball. That's really what interested me in going to college. And then honestly think the only real connection that was really helpful was meeting you and us still having our friendship, and you helping me out with FlipSystem.
Love it. Awesome. And then I think you had a call with me a couple years ago when I think you were running what was it? You were running your basketball business and you were debating investing in real estate or not.
Yes, and you talked me out of it because I didn't have the money.
And I talked you out of investing in real estate?
Yeah, just because I didn't have the funds. You're like, hey, you need to have like $30K. And I was like, I don't got that right now. At least not like liquid that I can start doing, And at that time, I just didn't think I fully was actually ready to jump in. I think I just was thinking about the idea and wanted to hear about it.
Yeah.
And that's when I think could tell, like I was just like, I'm kind of playing with this. And you're like, yeah, like if I was you, double down on your basketball business, figure this out and keep going. And
yeah. What is that what you did?
It's exactly what I did.
Did you take my advice? Okay, so you took your money, put it back into the business, and then 6 months later, 12 months later, you had the $30K?
Yeah. So honestly, I started investing into mentorship there. So I had a coach teach me how to build out my whole business and start doing that so that then I can make more money.
Yes.
That's exactly what I did because I had no idea how to do it. And no one, even my mentor, he was very successful, but no one really had the system figured out on how to make consistent money as a basketball trainer. Mm-hmm. Everyone was just flying by the seat of their pants and being like, oh, charge here, do all this. So there's no system. So I finally connected with the right person that gave me a system that I paid for help and mentorship, and then it, 10x'd, right?
Got it.
So that's kind of what I did there.
And then did you loop back up with me and be like, hey, now I'm ready? Or how did that whole thing go? Because I think Soma was involved in that conversation too. Or did you click an ad at that point? Did you text me? Like, what the hell happened once you were ready?
Well, basically, I tried the Geico. That flopped. That was my catalyst to be like, okay, I need something else. And then I was really interested in real estate. And I think I just like saw something you posted on like Instagram or whatnot. And I just texted you and I was like, hey, what is this? Tell me more. And you're like, oh, I'm like helping people obviously start getting into real estate and doing stuff, out of state, this, that, and the other. And then through that, I talked to like a Sean guy or someone for like a quick call, and then me and you were going back and forth texting after that before I joined.
Okay, crazy. And then after joining FlipSystem, how many months did it take you to do that first deal?
Yeah, so I mean, I think just now, how has FlipSystem grown? It seems like for me, there's just like two paths and two journeys. Like I think I was one of the first few, like 5 clients to start, and FlipSystem wasn't really exactly what it is, now. And so the two paths are kind of separate. Where I say what it was before, when we weren't having the teams and having access to all that, like I was doing a lot of the heavy lifting, and that took about like 5-6 months, and even after that, I still didn't have anything really to show for it. I had submitted probably 20 offers. I picked my own market, flew out there, tried to do all that. And I only got one deal under contract. And that's after going through like 30 realtors and like literally 30 property management companies that I cold called and about 15 different contractors. And I even flew to Cleveland, tried to figure this out. And I just picked a random market, honestly. It was because of basketball. It's just like, hey, if I got to go there, I'd rather watch a Cavs game as opposed to a Pistons game, So that's honestly was my logic. And with that said, it was like, wow, this is harder than I think. And so why I'm even sharing this is because you can be super motivated. You can be a self-starter. You can do any of that. If you don't have the right team or the right people guiding you and giving you the connections you need, you're still going to kind of be like spinning the wheel. Yeah. Right. And so then once you shifted everything and it was like, hey, now I'm going to give you access to my team, my lender. This is literally my contractor, that's working on everything. That's when it changed for me. So I kind of say like I have 2 start dates. I have the first start date for the first 6 months. Yeah. That didn't really do anything. And then after that, that's been the last 10 months. Yeah. And I've done 5 deals fully, have a 6 1 under contract. We already have 3 more offers out this month, and that's when everything shifted. So I guess in short, even with the hiccup, it was 8 months to get my first deal under contract and then close on the 9th. But then when it comes from the restart of like kind of that journey, I mean, it's been 5 deals, like I said, since then, 6 ones finishing up, 7th, 8th are put out, and we're just kind of moving from there.
Crazy. When you joined FlipSystem, were we giving you a list of people, or was it like a personal introduction, or was it nothing at all?
It was only you guys gave the acquisitions, you had the acquisition team that I think was helping with deals, and then you had the preferred lenders list, and that was it. And the acquisitions honestly was like we would bounce the idea off of them. So if we found it, we give it to them, and they help us break it down.
Got it. And then did we choose a market for you or help you choose one?
No, not at first.
Oh my God, crazy. And there was no like onboarding call?
Nope.
Holy shit. All right, so when FlipSystem first started, it was very MVP-ish. it was, I don't even know if I was running ads. I was just like posting it on my Instagram story and saying, hey, if you want help, my one-on-one help, I'll give you my lenders, I'll give you whatever. I thought I was giving teams on the ground.
Yeah, so what you did was you were my personal coach. That was it. So you're the coach. You gave us your preferred lenders list, and then you gave us the 20 hours of content, and it was way more in depth on market and how to find deals. And then basically you're able to use the acquisition teams you had to compare your deals that you're getting, that we're finding. So we'd find it, and then I'd send it and be like, hey, these are the numbers, and it'd be like yes or no.
Oh, okay.
And then we still had to find the team to then submit the offer and do all that stuff.
Yeah. Oh, okay, got it.
Yes, and I still have that. I use all the email templates. So like now there's email templates on like how to submit an offer and like how to get an appraisal and how to get an inspector, and like I still use that all the time.
Yeah. Those are great. Okay, cool.
Amazing.
Interesting. But now FlipSystem's obviously way different. We connect you to a team, connect you to lenders, all that kind of stuff, and the software is a bajillion times better than
way better
what
now.
it was.
It keeps growing. I tell people that. I'm like literally.
Every
I was
2
like, you guys
weeks.
have no idea what this started as.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
it was just like this blue whatever thing. Now it's
was a
purple. Now
Zoho
it's this.
CRM.
Yeah, it's so clean.
Crazy.
Now.
All right, so that was your first deal. Took around 9 months, obviously, because, I mean, it was essentially you going and doing it on your own at that point, because, like, that's the whole point of FlipSystem is you get to skip that whole 9-month fucking process if you're lucky, to be honest. Most people it takes way longer so that you can get under contract in 30 days. So you save 8 months of your life of cold calling and then hoping you find the right realtor and all this kind of stuff. So, I mean, props to you for figuring it out and sticking with it. And that was your first deal. And then tell me about like your success since then. You've done 5 deals. You said how many deals have gone full cycle, like sold?
Yeah, so 2 have fully sold, where like I bought, renovated, rented out, and sold. I like the turnkey flip method. It's done really well for me. 2 have gone through the whole cycle, just haven't sold yet. So they're rented out, and I'm collecting cash on those. The 5th one we finished. We actually just put it on the market like the other day. And then the 6th one is under contract, and then we literally just submitted a few offers this week already.
Got it. And then how have you had the money to do those things? Did you fund that first deal on your own? I wanted you to tell that story.
Yeah, so that was crazy. So this is how I knew this is what I wanted to do, was because when I made the decision, like I'm going all in, I literally drained my whole personal portfolio. I was like, what the hell is my $33,000 sitting in stocks for? I can't do anything. I don't know if it's going to go up or down. The CEO doesn't even know. But I could take that same money, invest it, and I know within 6 to 8 months, like I know I have a plan and a path, and I'm going to at least get 50% returns on that. And so that's what I did. I just said, hey, I'm going to drain everything here and start investing. So that's how I did the first deal. From that first deal, and as that was happening and people started hearing about it and seeing success, I was just talking to friends and family of just like, hey, like this is what I'm doing, like this is actually my first deal, I'm like 75% done, here's a before and after photos. People were like blown away. They're like, what, like how are you doing this? I was like, I use FlipSystem and their teams and everything on the ground, and you know I'm not in Cleveland, so I'm just showing them the updates from the videos and everything. And then from that sparked a conversation with a friend and colleague, and he was like, well, I got some money lying around, like, you know, like what can you do with like 50K? And I was just like, well, actually a lot. I'm sitting on these 2 deals that I would love to do. I just don't have the funds. Let me walk you through them. And I kind of show them it. And I'm not even like asking them really for the money. I'm just like, this is what this would do. This is the returns. And then, you know, after that conversation, they're kind of like sitting there and they're like, so how would we like structure this? And I'm just like, I mean, if you wire me the money, what we can do is I will go and run the whole project, and then we just split the profit 50-50. Next, you know, I'm getting a wire for like 50K to go run 2 projects. I was like, what is life? Like, this is crazy. And so that's how my journey continued to grow. And then once I flipped the first one, use that to get the 4th and 5th. And, you know, you just start recycling the money at that point.
Exactly. Damn, you followed everything to a T. First of all, the turnkey fix and flip process. So buy a house, renovate it, rent it out, and then sell it as a rental property to an investor. And then use that first deal as a case study. Again, perfect. Because if you show, even like that, it's not even a sales pitch anymore. It's like, yeah, I just made 25K. Like, look at this deal. Isn't it crazy? And they're like, Cleveland, Ohio. You never even went there. You never saw the house. And their brains explode, right?
Dude, even sorry, just to interject on that. So when I got my first deal, my mom, she's been in commercial real estate on the property management side for 30 years. Yeah. And I told her, I was like, I just bought a house for 75K. She was like, where? What? How? And I was like, in Cleveland. She's like, is it a shack? Like, you know, we're born and raised in NorCal and live in LA. Yeah. Like, so it's like you're used to California prices. And I always kind of joke. It's like, yeah, for like 75,000, you can't even get like an outhouse out here. You know? Yeah. And I was like, no, mom, it's a 4-bed, 2-bath, 2-story house with a massive garage, like in a C+ neighborhood. She's like, what? And I'm showing her the photos. And yeah, it looks like a total crack house. It was a piece of crap. But then we made it look like one of the nicest things on the block.
Yeah. Amazing. for people that are hesitant to make the jump like you did, drain their whole bank account and do what you did, or stock portfolio, like what would your piece of advice to be to somebody that's like teeter-tottering? They have the 30K, they, just got screwed over by their insurance company. And now they want to start Geico, thank you. And then now they want to do something else. They want to invest in real estate. They want to try it, but they're just nervous. Like what made you make that jump and drain your accounts?
Yeah, I think that's a great question, and we'll answer it the best I can. I can only really answer from my own experience. I think when it comes to like investing, right, with anything, there's a risk. And so at the end of the day, you want to look at all your options and make an educated choice. And for me, as I looked at that, I just realized, keeping my money in the stocks where I have no control over is not going to really get me to my goal. And also, as I've, connected and networked with other people in LA, friends of mine are, decamillionaires, billionaires, I actually started noticing a trend. None of them have stocks. And I was like, that's super interesting to me. But guess where all their money is? Real estate. Like I'm talking like 250 million in real estate, 500 million. And I'm like, that's crazy. So if I want that type of lifestyle, it's like, okay, I got to start, getting into real estate. And so if you're kind of like teetering, to get into real estate or not, or stocks or this, I don't necessarily think there's like one path fits all, but just what I say, if you want more control over your investments and your, the lifestyle you want, and to get to that goal, I would work with someone that's a mentor that can basically be a sure-proof way to get there. Because at the end of the day, what you're trying to do is protect your investment. Yeah. And if you want the safest way, at least that I feel like I have found, and the best way to invest to grow your money, that's what FlipSystem is. And so it's just a sure-proof way where you have experts and coaches and people that have already done everything you're trying to do, give you the roadmap. And I even kind of use an example of my job and what I do as a coach. Like if I'm 13, 14 years old and I want to play Division I basketball, I'm going to go find the person that can get me there who's already done it. Right. And then they're going to help me, go through different paths to where I don't have to go through all those same hurdles and roadblocks that other people have, and I can just get to that goal quicker.
Yeah. Love it. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for coming on the podcast. Appreciate it. For all of you listening, there is another podcast with Connor coming. It's Connor and somebody else who is a FlipSystem advisor. So make sure to check out that podcast. Again, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, man.